Hello, everybody. Andy Jacob here with the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. And I have a fascinating show today. I mean, when we talk about leaders in a field, leaders in a space, people that are really making a difference in the world, there's a company that we came across that was so interesting called Modern Meadow. And you're going to learn something that maybe you weren't thinking you were going to learn today. Of course, you tune into the show all the time about protein and protein application. And I know you're saying to yourselves, wow, protein and protein application, what is that all about? I'm not even sure how that fits into my mindset of what I want to learn about. But once you hear what this company, Modern Meadow, is doing in the biotech, biofabrication field, you're going to be amazed. It's very interesting, not only their technology, but the way in which they've evolved, the history of the company. Of course, we've been able to invite Miss Catherine Roggero-Lovisi on the show, and she is the CEO of Modern Meadow. And we're really delighted and honored to have Catherine on the show today. Catherine, welcome to the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series.
Well, thank you, Andy. Thank you for welcoming me, and thank you for welcoming Modern Meadow.
Yeah, it's great to have you. I mean, we learned so much about the company as we started to get ready for the interview. And of course, it came across our desk early on in the year. And what you're doing is really changing the conversation in what some people, used to call biotech. I think it's sort of a different name now, but let's talk about it. Let's pull the lens back to 30,000 feet. Let's talk about biofabrication, what Modern Meadow is all about, and then we have a lot of questions for you.
Sure. Well, I think that there's been a lot of speech, article, even movies and series on biotech and synbio, right? Synthetic biology. And I think that fundamentally it's learning from nature and using this learning to make life as good, but probably a little bit more sustainable. And this is what we're trying to do at Modern Meadow. Honestly, we use protein. I know some people are like, oh my God, I'm going back to school now. It's going to be horrible. But no, I'm not going to give you a biology or material science class, but fundamentally protein is a building block of not only life, but a lot of things. And we harness really what protein does in many ways. And we just apply it to different materials and different products to make them as performant, if not more, and certainly more sustainable.
Yeah, it's so interesting because proteins are really nature's building blocks. And the proteins, the way I understand it, can be designed and engineered and assembled into next generation bio-based materials. So let's talk about that. Let's bring it down a little bit because some people are watching the show and, maybe their heads exploding about, biofabrication and proteins and biology. And we want to bring it down to sort of a simple arena so that the people watching the show really understand from a real life perspective what Modern Meadow is doing and what it's all about.
Well, I think I agree with you. Sometimes it looks and sounds a little bit more daunting than what it is. And by the way, I don't have a PhD, so if I understand it, I'm sure everybody can. So I work with a lot of those guys, but I'm not one of them. So first of all, what does it mean, right? It's basically, our mission is to step away to reduce or eliminate the use of animal input and petrochemicals. Because sometimes you hear protein and you're thinking, okay, what is the source of your protein, right? So we learn from nature, and in the case of Modern Meadow, we have two sources of protein: either plant-based protein, or we create protein and we call that recombinant protein through engineering, and we ferment that. And fermentation is basically what you don't know, but that's what basically you use, or this is the process that is used when you drink any type of vodka or wine. So it's that common, right? Or we do it in a slightly different way, but it's fundamentally that. So protein is a very important building block because we're using protein the same way our current economy is using petrochemical as a building block to do a bunch of stuff. So what we're trying to do is saying, okay, I'm gonna use this amazing base, which is a molecule, but it's a base. And depending on how I shape it, how I build it, how I engineer it, how I produce it, and how I combine it, is going to give me multiple performances. And at the same time, it's going to be controlled because it's man-made, and it's going to be safe because we know what we do with it. So in the case of Modern Meadow, by really understanding this world of protein and by either designing, selecting them, and combining them with other molecule, what we've done is we're basically now working in few different industry. We're working in the textile industry, we're working in the beauty industry, and soon to be in the biomed industry. Why? Because, for example, people don't realize, but many fabric that you do have some type of protein, like silk, for example, right? So we use protein, plant-based protein, and other to make material more solid, more abrasion resistant, have a better dyeability, with less resources. So less water, less energy, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's really powerful because when you think about it, which manufacturer, which leading brand, which worldwide leading Fortune 100 company, Fortune 1000 company that's producing something wouldn't want to use your technology to help in the production of some of their products? And you already have your technology in some products throughout the world. What types of companies reach out to you, Catherine, and they say, hey, we love what Modern Meadow's doing. We want to talk about it. We want to see how we can use your application, if you will, into our products?
So, I mean, we're very fortunate. I mean, there is a part which is obviously the pressure from government and consumer, but we are very lucky because a lot of companies are coming with to us. And to be honest, we are very much of a B2B corporation. So we work and we try to create a network of company that basically are in very different specialties, but all of them wanting to maintain performance and give the same quality of product, but with better sustainability criteria. So we have partners in Italy, like Limonta, who's done and developed the material that is now sold with Tory Burch, a brand that was very keen in transitioning to a more sustainable material. We also have partners like in Syntex in Taiwan. We have Ultra Fabric is in the US and in Japan. We have many partners, or Evonik in beauty. All of those partners are world-class operator, known because they produce or they combine different sources to create those amazing materials that and they all are needing to be going in the same direction, which is the more sustainable options.
Yeah, I love it. So let's break it down even further. So in San Francisco, there's a Tory Burch store down in Union Square. You can walk by there, you can walk in, you can touch and see and feel and smell the wonderful new products that they have. So let's just use Tory Burch as an example. We walk into the store, we pick an item up. Maybe it's a purse. How does Modern Meadow's technology make that purse more sustainable, better, stronger, more beautiful? How does that work?
So yes, if you go to the store and you ask for the Ella Bio, and Ella is the iconic bag from Tory Burch, and our technology is featured in the Ella Bio, what you're gonna see is a material that feels and look extremely luxurious and beautiful. It's at the same price as other bags, so it's not like you're paying twice for the beauty or the sustainability of this material, and you will see it in all colors. So there is no like dull brown, boring. No, if you want white, you have white. If you want purple, you will have purple. That's the amazing part of it, right? But you will see also that this material is particularly resistant because you can, as a woman, you can scratch it with your rings, you can damage it, you throw it on the floor, in your car. It's not gonna be damaged. And durability is also sustainability. The other part is it is USDA certified because it is 64% bio content. So one thing that we want to be very clear with our partners and the brands and company featuring our technology is that we want to be extremely transparent with everything we do and everything we are and we are not. So we have LCA, which are life cycle analysis, which are very, very long and extensive documents to say step by step every ingredient that goes through the process and the process itself. So engineers do love those documents more than anybody else. But fundamentally, we're completely transparent and we have our commitment from lab to brand to share how it's done and what it is including, so that people feel very comfortable and don't think that we are greenwashing in the process.
Wow, so interesting, Catherine. You said something that really hit home for me. You said durability is sustainability. I love that. When you think about it, that's really powerful, because when something is durable and it lasts longer, by default, that becomes sustainable because it's around longer. Is that sort of the idea behind that quote that you mentioned?
Yes, I think people, we've been in the last 20, 40 years with fast fashion and everything else, we've been used to basically use and throw away within a very short period of time, either because the item was falling apart or was not surviving the kind of typical life and wear that you expect from it, or because we wanted something different and new. I think that what is amazing with Tory Burch is, first of all, the item itself is timeless. So it is a beautiful bag, different size, different color, again, that you will not have a problem using 5 or 10 years from now. The other thing is, because of our technology, it is lighter. So as a woman, you like that because you put already so much in your bag, right? But it is lighter, it is more resistant, and it is, and therefore it's going to age better. So you're not going to look at it, 6, 12 month from now or a few years from now and look at it like it's a very tired and damaged item. It is not. So you're going to be able to use it or pass it on even to another person, right? Sometimes we gift each other, we re-gift each other. But that's also part of the sustainability, is by having items that last longer, that are timeless, that take care of themselves, that you can use and not have to buy more. As we know, 75% of fashion is thrown away before it's worn. So I think it's important to consider that also as a sustainability factor.
Yeah, I love that, Catherine. Of course, you mentioned textile, beauty, and biomed. Biomed is just a burgeoning space. Obviously, you want to be right in the middle of that. Let's talk about those three: textile, beauty, and biomed. Tell us some more applications for the Modern Meadow sort of protein applications.
So one thing that we've done, for example, in beauty, is we've developed a bioactive that is basically an ingredient that has anti-aging property, and this is proven by clinical studies. So it's not like we've just said it. The other thing it is safe, it is biocompatible, and it is a product of green technology because it's a fermentation base. So when people are afraid of using certain product because of their toxicity, their long-term effect, but also what they do to the planet in terms of deforestation, land use, et cetera, et cetera. I think that what is interesting is that to go back to your comment about biotech, is the ability to develop alternative solutions that are controllable, and with less footprint than before. So it's not about taking from Mother Nature; it's about learning and producing in a more conscious way. And this is again what we're doing. It is obviously not tested on animal. It is vegan. It's allowed all the good stuff that everybody is expecting today to receive when they buy a good skincare product or healthcare product, but. It starts with the ingredient, and that's what we are offering. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it, Catherine. You mentioned lower toxicity, saving the planet, and something that really is a powerful statement is learning from Mother Nature. I mean, I love that so much. So let's just talk about that a little bit, and let's see how that relates to your team at Modern Meadow, because I would imagine everybody on the team has this unified goal, this unified voice that they want to change the world in a more powerful and better way and make it more sustainable. And like you said, learn from Mother Nature. How important is that mindset for your team to continue to develop this great technology that you're developing?
Well, I think that's the reason why all of us, including myself, that's why, I mean, as you know, my background is very different. I'm not my background is not in startup or in biotech in general. I was in consumer good. And we have people who, our team, we heavily in, obviously scientists, both biologists and material science. We have also a lot of engineers, but we have our team at large is really focused about using science to find answers and solutions. And the reason why the inspiration of nature is because nature has taken billions of years to be where it is today. We don't have that luxury. We need to turn around a little faster. So that's why by being a little humble and understanding how things works and take the best of it and try to do it in a safe way, we are definitely developing different technology platform that will hopefully make a difference. Fundamentally, when we think about the environment, all of us, what we have to realize is that we all of us have to be part of it, because we are really transitioning and the economy as it is today, and every part of the economy. So there is a lot of space, a lot of money, a lot of potential, but a lot of things to do as well. And I think that what the team at Modern Meadow has understood is it's one step at a time. Our solutions today are great, but tomorrow they're going to be even better. And we're starting to go to market with solutions that we're very proud of. And we know their limits and we know their benefit, and we share that with the public. But we're certainly working on generation 2, 3, 4, 5 already, because we want to be more than a bio replacement. We want to be bio better and bio best.
Wow, I love that. I love that. That's great. That should be the name of your TED Talk. I love that so much. Now, your company is really positioned really at the intersection of material science and biology, and the mission is to be a catalyst really for the wellness of the people on this planet and the planet itself. But I want to talk about entrepreneurship, because when you intertwine all of those things and we think about leadership, leadership starts at the top. And like you mentioned earlier, you work with a lot of very, very smart people. As you know, your C-level executive team is very smart as well, but you have different types of people. You have marketing people, you have product people, you have scientists, you have technologists. How do all of those people communicate in a language that each of the other ones understand in a way that's meaningful to them in your company?
I think that what unites us is the vision, right? It's the mission that we have. And as you said, being a catalyst means that we have to rally a lot of people around us. It's that we are crystallizing factor, but we cannot do it alone. So of course, the first people to move in the same direction are ourselves. We are 100 plus people, and the fundamental, we all are from very different walk of life. We have academic, consultant, business, corporate, for-profit, non-profit. We have, as you said, we have scientists, we have engineer, we have business people. I mean, operator, supply chain. I mean, name it, we have it, right? So, but that's basically a section of as I say, of the economy and the society, because we are working to replace some of its applications. So that's why you have to have that diversity. In addition to all the other diversity you can imagine. And I'm very proud to say our company is almost 50% female. So this is a big thing as well. It is important to communicate, because the meaning of words are very different depending on your past experience. And I think that I'm in a very good spot, because my native tongue is not English. So I spend my day trying to explain and understand what everybody is saying and so forth. So, but the fundamental is, because we know that we're coming from the same place. After that is just figuring it out. The entrepreneurship part is that all of us kind of own a little piece of the company, right? And it's about moving in the right direction in a very agile way. And it's by inventing, creating, morphing, changing, pivoting, or just dropping. Sometimes you fail, you learn, you move on, you do the next thing. And I think that this is this type of agility that is needed specifically when you are in applied research that is to be commercialized like we are. And that's the fundamental of innovation process. And that's why we have both material science and biologists, because material science give us the way to the how. The biology is the what, but the how is very important. That's why we have them all together under the same roof.
Wow. I want to get into the agility. I know you've only been able to cut out a certain amount of time for me today. This is a fascinating interview, but I do have a question. When you hire someone to come on the team, or your team is doing the hiring, and you have someone that really is, let's say, a great scientist, but maybe they don't buy into this mission that you have to save the planet and learn from Mother Nature as much as maybe you would want them to, or you have someone that's totally in love with the planet, totally wants to save the planet, totally wants to learn from Mother Nature, but their tech chops aren't maybe as good as the other person. Do you have a way that you lean in terms of your hiring process? Would you rather have the great technologists and teach them about how important the planet is, or vice versa?
Well, I think that fundamentally, most people are good, and it's rare to find somebody that doesn't care about the planet. So now the level of passion may be different, and the way you go about it is maybe different. But I think that I don't think I've come across anyone, specifically in the scientific world, that says, no, everything is cool and hunky-dory, we can continue as such, let's go and continue enjoy life the way it is. None of them. Everybody's saying we have to change the way we practice our science, our business. So that question never come up. Now, in terms of the technical skills, I mean, we are a small corporation. Every position is actually 3. So it is essential that there is a certain level of technical skills, but there is also the need for what we call cultural fit. And this is where, it's important. We are a small corporation. There is no magic department somewhere in the building that's going to do certain job. You're going to have to do a lot of things yourself. You're going to have conversation with many different people, because we have departments. Many departments are just one person. So this is where the agility, the curiosity, and the generosity kick in, because we are here also to help each other.
Wow. I love it. I want to turn our conversation into entrepreneurship with the last few minutes that we have, Catherine. Of course, we have entrepreneurs that watch the show and younger entrepreneurs that are doing startup businesses. Many of them have never experienced sort of the entrepreneurial world in a way that they hit a wall, or maybe they're hitting a frustration point, or maybe they're having a freeze in the frame moment like entrepreneurs do sometimes. So I'm hoping you might be able to share, based on your vast experience, to some of the other entrepreneurs watching the show, what it takes to get through a tough time, what it takes to keep on pushing as an entrepreneur, what type of spirit is necessary to continue on and keep on going on.
So I think that the difference between an entrepreneur that if you know somebody's name, and everybody else that has been entrepreneur and you don't know their name, for me it's grit. Because every entrepreneur will hit walls, and not one, not 2. You're lucky if you hit 1 wall a week. I mean, this is like a good ratio, literally. So it's not about hitting the wall, it's what you do about it. Right. So it's about having conviction, dedication, passion, because there are days you just want to like walk on the beach and just figure it out, and just go in the water. That's it. But what is important is at that point you realize that it's normal, that what you're doing is probably worth it. Otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. And that you're not alone. And that's where I'm very lucky. I have a very strong and supportive team, and we take turn in those moments of what the hell are we doing? The last thing is it's important to be focused on the objective, not the form. Sometimes people just are obsessed on the way of doing things versus what it is about. And I think that's when you get that's when people fail, is that what by nature, if you are an entrepreneur, you do things differently. You do things that don't exist. So it's about focusing on what you want to accomplish versus how you accomplish this. And this agility has to be an everyday commitment. Otherwise, you're not going to succeed. You're going to hit walls that are going to break you.
Wow, I love it. Grit. I mean, I'm going to have to steal that from you, Catherine, because you said something really interesting. You said the entrepreneurs whose names like the name brand entrepreneurs, the things that separates them maybe from the rest is their grit and focus on, of course, the objective. I mean, I love it so much. This has been amazing to have you on the show, bringing us inside Modern Meadow, what you're doing with, of course, the protein applications and the biotech and the protein application as it sort of is going to affect the world in biotech and textiles, beauty, biomed. I mean, it's really a leadership position that you and the company are taking, Catherine. So I want to thank you so much for coming on the .com Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series today.
Thank you, Andy. Much appreciated.